So, to get started, tell us what you do at Battlefront, how long you've been at Battlefront, and introduce yourself.
Right, well, I'm Mike Hart. I do writing. Been here for about 5 years.
I'm Phil Yates, and I'm the lead games designer at Battlefront. 2000, August 2000, so that's 12 years.
I am John Paul Briziotti. I'm the managing director of Battlefront. I'm one of the owners with Pete, and I have been here for 9 years, just coming up to 9 years.
I'm Wayne, and I'm one of the writers at Battlefront. Since about 2002, so 10 years, yeah.
My name's Evan Allen, and I'm I suppose you call me the chief sculptor at Battlefront. Pretty much since the beginning, so about 12 years now, sorry.
I'm James Brown. I'm a painter and also a part-time sculptor, but maybe I'm a sculptor and part-time painter. I started at Battlefront in 2007, so I've been here just over 5 years now.
I'm Blake, and I'm looking after the website. It's basically what I do for Battlefront. I have been just over 5 years now. It was 5 years this June.
Okay, so I'm Casey Davies and I'm a graphic designer. Yeah, I've been working here almost 9 years. 9 years in February next year.
Well, my name's Victor Pesh. I've been here about 3.5 years and I'm a graphic designer. I've most recently worked on the 3 Bulge books and currently doing the new Vietnam 130-page book.
So I'm Sean Goodison, another graphic designer. Started about 6 months after Victor, so I've been here about just over 3 years and just finished up working on the Market Garden compilations.
My name's Chris Townley. I'm the studio manager / studio administrator. Just under 4.5 years.
Gaming. How did I get into gaming? Ever since as I was a kid, I was kind of like always fascinated by military history and things. You know, anytime a war movie or something would come on, you know, watching it, or you'd buy Commando comics or something as a kid and read them all and things like that. And yeah, everyone had the, little green plastic toy soldiers, and you'd play war or run around with plastic guns and things like that. And yeah, it kind of just grew from that.
FX plastic soldiers, in particular, my fascination was World War One. And I remember as a kid setting up this big battle on the lounge carpet with a friend of mine, and then we sat there and went, now what? And that was the state of play for a few years until my mother saw something on TV and said, Phil, you need to come with me to the library. They've got books there about wargaming. It was like, what's that?
I started as a role player, playing D&D at intermediate school. And then I got into miniature wargaming. I bought a bunch of Grenadier figures and then bought some Games Workshop stuff. Ended up playing Ancients. Played Ancients for a long time. Got into Napoleonics, played Napoleonics for a long time. About in the mid-90s, kind of met Evan and got into playing World War II with Evan, and then Battlefront was developing a new set of rules with Phil, and I started involved in playtesting with that.
Yeah, I got into gaming via card games, actually, because I started with card games and things, and I saw somebody playing some miniature war games, and someone said, hey, you're into history and things, so give it a shot and see what happens.
My father foolishly brought over a box of Dungeons & Dragons in 1979 from America, told me it was the latest, hottest thing, and thought it was just a throwaway, and miniatures and gaming progressed from there, and still doing it 30 odd years later. So
I probably had less of a background in wargaming than a lot of the guys. My older brother played a bit of Warhammer, and so I never really got into it in a big way, but it was always kind of on my peripherals, kind of knew what it was. Getting the job here, you get into that environment, you're surrounded by people who are really passionate about it, and you can't help but kind of get swept up.
I actually worked at Pete's Restaurant while I was a student doing design work. I was actually bartending at the launch party of version 1, and got talking to Phil, and he introduced me to everyone, and I talked to him about being interested in toy soldiers, and spiraled from there.
I started gaming with role-playing sort of when I was about 11 or 12. Got into the basic Dungeons & Dragons set. That kind of gradually evolved into slightly more complicated role-playing games, and picked up painting miniatures from there. So
my first experience with wargaming was painting some old Games Workshop figures. A friend of mine up the road had some, and sort of when school got in the way, It sort of dropped off my radar for a while. Yeah, when I was younger, I never played. It was always a painting thing. It wasn't until I got the job here that it sort of reinvigorated my interest in gaming.
Since I was about 9 or 10 years old. My dad brought me home a couple of boxes of Airfix plastic toy soldiers, and I've never looked back.